allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Schultz. Here. Mr. DeBoer.
Did you say me?
Oh. Mr. Elmer.
Here.
Mr. Vanderbilt.
Here.
Any additions or subtractions to today's agenda?
No. I don't know that it reflects the full of advice we've received from council.
Make a motion to accept the agenda. This.
Alright, this dice for lack of a second.
Make a motion to approve the agenda, striking the considering hiring outside council item.
Support that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. November 26, 2024 minutes. Any corrections?
I would ask that we just cite in the credit collections or credit collections bureau item that I'd express concerns with the form of the letter, that it looked. I would make a motion to approve the minutes with the addition of, in that item, that Vandergriff expressed concerns with the form of the letter and desired a formal policy.
Trying to remember what that letter.
I had just said to me, it looks like something that could come across and look like a scam. It didn't really identify that they were actually working with the county and that just send us money. It's now our job to collect this. So,
I think that's how every debt collection letter looks. It's like a scam.
I was just trying to think how they could change it so it.
second on the minutes.
If we're gonna go with a collecting agency, how else would we do it? And I can see going with a collecting agency.
Well, we approved it. I'm not denying that. I just said I think the letter needed to be better. Say we're working with the emergency management of Osceola County or emergency EMS of Osceola County to continue the efforts to collect, or more clarity that it was working on the county, and that was not.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Discuss cancellation of affiliate agreement. Juvenile detention with Central Iowa Juvenile Detention Center.
Do you have any idea how many times we've used that?
Oh, quite a bit. Yeah, I wish I would have known this before I did the budget amendment. 'Cause that's where this kid is at. So it's going up. We were paying $100 a day, so it's going up now to $250, and we have to pay for transportation. I mean, is that the only detention that we use? Is that correct?
No,
Okay.
I told Nolan yesterday, we could use the Yes Center out of Cherokee.
We previously used to use the Yes Center at some point,
Yeah.
right?
If you need more information on the Yes Center, you can call Cheryl, but the way she explained it to me was, we don't have to become a member. We can be like, it's called a non-voting member of the Yes Center. If we go that route, we can keep our contract with Central Iowa yet. We can have dual contracts. If you're a non-voting member, they charge $225 per day. And then, transportation fees it'd be on us. It's only an hour away, so transportation fee compared to 4.5 hours away, so.
What are the benefits of being a member?
Well, if you remember, you have to buy a bed for $25,000, and then it's $175 per day. So, and the Cheryl, she even recommended too, she said, I don't recommend you buying a bed for $25,000. She said, they usually have a bed open, so it's up to our JCO, I don't know if you know Erin or not, it's up to her about where, she wants these kids to be placed at, so.
I wouldn't speak for Aaron or for Kevin, but I don't know that we have a high enough volume in terms of juvenile delinquents detained, that's something that's necessarily something where we need to be buying a bed. I think that, the biggest expenditure we've had, and obviously I can't speak too much to the specifics of the case that we're talking about, but that's kind of a low incidence, high cost sort of thing when you have a juvenile who's been accused of a very violent felony at an age where they're right in that gap where they could either be, where they couldn't be waived up to adult court necessarily based on that, or they might be able to be. You're in a zone where, regardless of that juvenile has to be held in a separate facility. So I don't know, knock on wood, that we really have enough traffic in juvenile delinquents here in terms of volume that we would need to explore.
And that's kind of exactly what Cheryl said too. She said she wouldn't anticipate us having enough traffic to warrant buying a $25,000 bed. So that's why she recommended us not doing that. But to become a non-voting member, she would most definitely entertain that, so.
So the juvenile that we have currently in court, can we, or what, this, they will remain there for a while, yeah, right?
I have to be really careful about what I say in open session about that.
Okay, I'm sorry I asked.
But what I can say is, at the moment, I don't anticipate his detention condition changing in the near future. That could always change. That being said, I believe that the court would probably entertain a request to transfer his custody to the Yes Center if that request were made. But obviously we have some decisions to make before that could become an option.
Do we have to enter a contract then with the Yes Center then?
She said we could have dual contracts. I will give you the phone number if you want to reach out to her and you have more questions for her. But, so I'm assuming we'd have to have some kind of contract with her.
But for right now, you need a motion for the cancellation.
We canceled it.
They're the ones that canceled it,
They
right?
canceled it, so
Okay.
I don't know if there's anything to vote on.
We're just kind of discussing what happened and what our thoughts might be going forward, if I got that right.
Yeah, I just got this, we've had to, felt like we had to, the board had to discuss it as to see. So they're aware of what's going on and what we need to do going forward.
Yeah, and if I was told right, the Central Iowa, they will charge you more per day if it's a so-called difficult person that they're dealing with. So, and the Yes Center said that, they wouldn't do that.
We request contracts from each facility.
Yeah, I think that'd be prudent, just, I mean, you don't have to sign them if you look at them. You don't have to necessarily agree to enter into the non-voting member contract. You can take a look at them and decide what's best. Obviously, we still have the option to have detention at CIJDC right now, is my understanding. It's just the cost structure is a little different and the transport cost is different. So nothing wrong with exploring your options.
I can't see them being willing to add language, but is there a way that we can state what cancellation or altering the agreement looks like rather than just out of the blue? Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. And we've got someone there. How do you?
I mean, we could always ask, are you talking about having the Yes Center potentially insert language into an agreement about cancellation?
Both less Yes Center and Central Iowa, at least 30 days notice or something like that, so we can respond to something they're notifying us of.
I don't think there's anything wrong with asking for language like that. The reality is they're probably going to be hesitant to modify the language in a way that would be at variance from the other counties that have agreements to detain kids there. So that's kind of what I would see as your probable practical sticking point, but it never hurts to ask, especially because we've been in a situation, or we are in a situation right now where we got a kid in detention, and without saying too much, we need to have continued arrangements. So yeah, I certainly, once I have the agreements and stuff, can reach out and ask, check that out and see if they'd be willing to insert a modification. The odds are that they're probably not going to want to modify that contract. They're just going to say, hey, we're not going to put anything else in the contract, but here's what we usually do when we're going to transfer a kid or say that the kid's no longer supposed to be there, or if we're going to cancel your arrangement, here's how it usually goes. So
I understand that, but we really don't have a contract then. They can just cancel it at any point, don't have to notify us, then what's the point of having a contract?
well, I get your point.
They're not honoring what we agreed to do. So I get it. The costs are different. I don't find it unreasonable, but the process is, I think, should be better.
Well, it is infuriating to have to deal with that when you have a kid who needs to be detained, or you have any kid that needs to be placed somewhere. But a big theme in juvenile court is that we don't want to force kids to be placed somewhere where the people who are taking care of them don't want those kids, because historically that has ended up with some outcomes that aren't so great, let's just put it that way. And that's something that holds true whether it's foster care or whether it's juvenile detention facilities, is that the juvenile court is hesitant to force placement or continued placement on a facility or a foster home when that facility or foster home doesn't want those kids anymore. And that, I think, carries through in terms of the ways that these facilities deal with the contracts with counties, with states, with let's just say paying entities, to put it bluntly. So yeah, you're right. I think it puts us in a bind if another facility decides to cancel on us or say this kid's not welcome here anymore. I can ask. I'm certainly happy to ask, but that's kind of just what I see as the likelihood. So there never hurts to ask. I mean, I don't think they're gonna say we don't want to do business with you just because we asked about a cancellation provision.
Any other thoughts, comments, concerns?
So does the board choose to reach out to the Yes Center, or what do you want going forward for them, or?
I would like to see contracts for both, or what they would look like.
Is that a motion?
To request contracts from each item or each entity? Sure.
Somebody give me a second.
Support.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Yep.
Thank you. I take a motion to adjourn.
Got it. I'll support it.
Leroy, second that?
He motioned it. Oh,
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.